Breaking news now on Fox 13's Good Morning Memphis.
And thank you for joining us live on this Friday. I'm Ernie Freeman, and we have breaking news from downtown Memphis.
I'm Valerie Calhoun. As you can see, we have a massive fire in the downtown area, a brand new apartment complex that's under construction right now near the FedEx Forum. We have Fox 13's Alexa Lorenzo in place now. Tell us what you've seen and what you know.
You've seen pictures of the massive fire from above, even where Shelby is standing, but now we're getting our first look at the response. You can see Danny Thomas Boulevard is swallowed with firefighters, police officers as they battle this massive downtown fire. We've learned that the fire started at an affordable apartment complex that was under construction. It was going to be 205 units right at the corner of Danny Thomas Boulevard and Martin Luther King Jr. It is very near the FedEx Forum here in downtown. So these apartments were still under construction, which can really show you just how this fire got so big. A lot of flammable materials inside this building as construction crews were working to get these apartments ready for people to start moving in. We are working to find out an exact date as to when these apartment complexes were supposed to be ready. But again, no one was inside the apartment complex. This was under construction, and this is our first look at the smoke rising and, of course, the response of fire crews, police officers here. Lauren Coleman has been telling you all morning that this is, of course, a nightmare for the firefighters battling this. We want to, of course, keep them in our prayers. But, of course, if you are driving through this area, Danny Thomas is blocked off this morning as crews are working to put this out. And you can kind of in the foreground hear some more sirens coming. So it really does show us that this is going to be a big one for firefighters this morning. You can hear those sirens, which means more crews are coming in and they need more help battling this massive downtown fire. When we get more information from fire crews here on the scene, we will let you know. But I also want to tell you that I did see some people walking out. So it seems that if there are people in this area, maybe working nearby, firefighters are letting them walk out of this area to a more safe spot so that they can continue their work and put this huge downtown fire out. We're live in downtown this morning. Alexa Lorenzo, Fox 13 News.
Yeah, so the Forum Flats is that apartment complex under construction sustaining major damage in a massive fire on this Friday morning.
Yeah, in fact, we just literally ran up on it. One of our crews, our traffic tracker, driving, they saw the smoke and then they saw the flames. Earlier, the flames were pouring out. Right now, you see behind us the smoke billowing. We know there's major damage to at least one building back there. We saw fire on top of another building. It may be some time before we get a full assessment of what is really happening there and how much damage.
And as Fox 13 meteorologist Brittany DeBose was saying earlier, the wind not whipping up as much as it has been the past few days, so that's good news. But traffic is going to be a nightmare in that area this morning.
And already Lauren Coleman is tracking areas to avoid. Lauren?
Definitely want to avoid the downtown area if you are traveling on Danny Thomas Boulevard. As you saw in Alexa's live shot, a lot of fire crews as well as police officers blocking the roadways there. Right now on my map, I'm seeing that Danny Thomas Boulevard heading northbound. It's currently blocked between Vance Avenue and MLK Jr. Avenue. This is this area that I have circled in red here. But as we saw how massive those flames were, we could start to see more closures in the area. So I'll keep an eye on that. But in the meantime, it is closed. Danny Thomas Boulevard heading northbound between Vance and MLK. So several alternate routes you can take. You can hop on Lauderdale. You can also take 2nd Street. You can take 3rd Street, Hernando Street, any of those side streets that run parallel to Danny Thomas Boulevard to get where you need to go. I'm going to continue working here in the traffic center as well as communicating with our crews in the field, and I'll let you know if we start to see more of those closures. For now, I'm reporting in the traffic center, but let's check in with Fox 13 meteorologist Brittany DeBose.
And this morning's one of those mornings where you kind of wish we had a lot of rain to help put out that fire. Good news is winds are actually kind of light, only around 3 miles per hour. The past several days, they've been breezy of at least 15 miles per hour with some heavier gusts. So winds are light outside with cloudy skies. Temperatures are around 64 degrees here in Memphis, but across the entire Mid-South, we are mainly in the low to mid 60s. By the time we get to noontime, warming up to 74 degrees, so cloudy. Isolated showers in the forecast when you're getting off work. Temperatures by the 5 o'clock hour at 70. 77 as afternoon highs for this Friday comes in at 79 degrees, 30% chance for some stray showers. Now have a look at your commute forecast coming up in less than 10 minutes. Back to you.
All right, interesting to see that they've gotten the flames down, but boy, they're still pouring water on the smoky area to the right of that, right behind you as if you're looking at the camera right now.
Yeah, let's get you down to Fox 13 Shelby Sansone. We have team coverage on this massive fire in downtown Memphis. What are you seeing from your vantage point, Shelby?
Well, in the past few seconds, I watched firefighters march a hose into this complex. They are trying to attack this from all different directions. Take a look at what we're seeing right now. You can see that this thing is getting, the smoke is getting bigger over where we are at. Now, most of the flames were deep into this complex. Now, we're seeing even more smoke over closer to us. Now, we're on MLK right now. We're in between Danny Thomas and the FedEx Forum, and we are watching these guys move fast as they are trying to get this thing under control. These are the Forum Flats, and they were supposed to open this fall. So right now, we do not think anyone was hurt because of this fire. I'm working to find out from firefighters if this is confirmed information or not. Right now, I'm seeing 4 fire trucks where I am standing, but if you walk a little to your left and right, you can see more from other sides of this fire. Again, they are attacking this from all angles. We're going to continue sitting here watching firefighters work, trying to get more information from them to see if anybody was hurt and also if they are getting this thing under control, what tactics they are using to do so. Reporting live from downtown Memphis, Shelby Sansone, Fox 13 News.
I got a quick question for you, Shelby, about the air out there. So much smoke out there. Is it getting kind of tough to breathe, the kind of burning in your throat?
Val, will you say that again? It's getting kind of loud out here.
There's so much smoke out there and has been for what, 40 minutes or so. I'm wondering if it's starting to impact the air quality, at least where you are.
I've been watching out for that, really trying to smell around here. So far, it has not affected my air quality. I think because the smoke is so high up right now, but that obviously could change as things are starting to burn out here. But so far, I'm not really smelling it like I thought I would.
Yeah, that could be an impact. We'll check in with the health department later today, too, this morning to see if it will have an impact.
Well, the good news is Fox 13 meteorologist Brittany DeBose was saying the wind's not really whipping up, so it's not spreading the smoke all around, and so it's kind of contained. It's sort of just billowing up into the air and drifting off into whichever way it's going.
We've got 3 angles right now of this fire. If you want to look, there was a close-up we just pulled out, and this is where we first rolled up on that fire, this scene right here, and this is at Danny Thomas. Now, stay with us. This is actually live happening as you watch firefighter going back to the truck for something, but that smoke still pouring out of the building. One thing that Shelby said from her vantage point over, she was over there near MLK, is that it seemed there was still some activity inside. We're seeing the water still being poured, the smoke coming out. So apparently there's fire still deep inside that building.
Breaking news now on Fox 13's Good Morning Memphis.
Fox 13 is following breaking news in downtown Memphis on this Friday morning. A massive fire is burning at an apartment complex that is under construction.
It's a fire the likes of which we haven't seen in decades. You're taking a live look now at 3 different angles of the fire. On the right, we've got the Skyfox camera, we've got traffic tracker, and we have live team coverage of this fire in Memphis this morning. Thanks for joining us. I'm Valerie Calhoun. Fox 13 is live with you on this May 3rd.
Yeah, I'm Ernie Freeman. It is 7 o'clock right now. We want to get you straight to that massive fire. And Fox 13 Shelby Sansone is live. She's on Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard between FedEx Forum and Danny Thomas. And Shelby, we've been talking about the intensity of this fire. It seems like it's growing in intensity.
It does look like that. In the past 30 minutes, I have watched as this fire has crept along the roof of this apartment complex. Take a look for yourself. Now, the massive flames, those were kind of to the left of what you were looking at just the last time we were looking at this. Now it is towards the right and it's creeping into the other side of this building that is facing us. Now, we're going to start zooming in a little bit for you. We might have some camera adjustments you're going to have to look at, but we're going to try to get it all the way in there for you.
You can see in that roof that there are a lot of hoses going to this building. They have moved from the left side where the structural damage is all the way to that right. You can see they're attacking the corner now, and these guys are working very hard to get this figured out. Now, if we raise that camera up just a little bit and go over to the part of the structure that is completely gone, I've watched a lot of that structure right there start moving. It is starting to fall down. You can see that that is some dangerous situations for these firefighters. So they are trying to stay cautious and trying to make sure that these crews are not hurt this morning. Now, so far, we do not hear of anyone being hurt in this fire. We do know that this was a vacant complex. Because it is being built up right now, we're going to try to find out if any firefighters are hurt in this thing. So far, I've not heard any information about that either. It looks like they are being pretty safe out here. There are several crews attacking this from every single angle. So we're going to continue talking with firefighters and watching them as they continue to do their work out here this morning.
This is a urgent situation, folks, right now. Firefighters are trying to contain that fire to the one section of the building. They're doing their best, but it looks like the flames have been so intense and so massive that this section of that apartment complex may be getting, oh good, there's a better shot, some of the flames now and some damage there.
And we just got word from the fire department. They have 200 firefighters on the scene fighting this fire. The fight to save this section of that building is happening right now on this roof. An intense fight against this massive fire by 200 Memphis firefighters here on this Friday morning in downtown Memphis.
In situations like this, you frequently get help from outside departments. We're working to confirm if that is the case. I have just learned from one of our reporters on the scene, Alexa Lorenzo, that firefighters are using their own drone to look for hot spots. So we're looking at these cameras. We have a drone out there, the Fox13 drone. We don't want to interfere with what firefighters are doing. They have their own drone up looking for hot spots. And this is just one of several buildings in this apartment complex. We saw fire on another one spread earlier.
And the fight continues to extinguish this fire. Fox 13's Shelby Sansone is down there. Alexa Lorenzo is there as well. So, Alexa, what's the latest from your vantage point?
Really quickly before it lands, look at the drone right here. This is the first day the Memphis Fire Department has used this drone. They're bringing it down to the ground now. Here's what they're doing with it. It flies above the building and it has this thermal energy technology that allows the firefighters to look at the hot spots in the building. So even if there is a roof over the top of the building, they can see what exactly is hot inside. They can cut a hole on the roof and then put water, shoot water inside the building. That's what's happening now.
Now, this is a much better scene than what we saw about an hour ago. I watched flames creep from left to right on this apartment complex roof. You can see from the structure all the damage that was done. Now, I also spoke to a man who was supposed to work here this morning. He came over to this complex around 5:30 a.m. and saw firefighters working out here. Here's what he had to say.
They saw them in the cabinets with my supervisor, and when we got here, we came from Nashville to help him out because we worked with him before in Nashville, and we got here about 5:30, and I told my driver, my coworker, that he passed the building, and he was like, well, you can't turn down the street that we needed to turn on because it was on fire. And it's been burning since like about 5:30 when we first got here.
And then you saw that. What was the first thing you saw?
I was just like, whoosh, wow, like it was just flames everywhere, ashes falling down, falling everywhere, and we went across the street to the MAPCO, and ashes were coming all over there. The building started collapsing. It was just crazy.
But check out this video from the Fox 13 drone that we got in the last hour. You can see now it's very smoky, but no visible flames from our vantage point. However, you do see they're still spraying that building where the fire was massive for hours, spraying it down to make sure there are no hot spots left.
Earlier on, we know that firefighters were trying to extinguish that fire from multiple angles, but all we could see was fire and smoke. We couldn't see really the water unless we were honed in right on a firefighter with a hose in his hands.
Look, this fire broke out at 5:45. It's now more than 4 hours later, and they're still on the scene. It's still active, but there's no longer the urgency that we saw for really about 3 hours.
Yeah, at the height of it, we were worried, that this thing they might not be able to contain it, but they ultimately did get it under control. They had 200 firefighters down there, and they were ultimately able to get it under control. Now they're trying to make sure it's completely out, hot spots and all.